What's going on, everybody? This is Julian back with my Untitled Podcast. For those watching, say hello to my beautiful face. And for those listening, say hello to my voice. So today I'm excited about this guest. I got James Berger, IFBB. Say that again, IFBB, wheelchair pro bodybuilder. How's it going today, man?
They're doing great, man. How about you?
Man, I am good. I was on vacation for a week. So
nice.
Today was my day back. And like having to work again is not fun. Like you just
no, not at all.
That first
I started
day back
today too. That's rough.
That first day back is terrible, man. So I always start off the podcast with a quick question that throws people off, but I like to ask. Give me your top 3 songs to work out to.
Oh, top 3, man.
Yeah.
That's a hard question.
It's a tough
That's
one,
a
right?
really hard question. Oh man. Anything heavy. I mean, I just kind of find the beat to it. I mean,
heavy metal?
Yeah, kind of more of a harder rock because the gym that we got going, it's just kind of music for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Usually if I put headphones on, I got some loud stuff blaring. I find I have a beat to, and I just kind of go with it for a minute.
I got you. So the reason I asked, my idea is to start like a My Mentality podcast playlist. So everybody that's been on here, they'll give me their top 3 and I add it to it so we can just share it. And
I'll tell you what, we do my song I did my posing routine to.
Okay.
And the band's called Smash Into Pieces.
Okay.
And the song is called Bang Bang.
Bang Bang. I'm gonna go listen to that right after this too.
It's a good one, man. It hits hard.
Yeah. I like that. Like some of my favorite like bands like that, like Rage Against the Machine. One of the guys listen to a little bit of Metallica, and that's like more so deadlift day. Like if I'm deadlifting. It's gonna be that or some Little John. It's like you said, it's the beat. I don't really care what they're saying. I just want to hear hard beat and maybe some screaming because that's what I'm gonna be doing.
See, there's a lot of stuff that I listen to too. It's Inky Johnson, motivational speaker. Dude, I listen to some of his stuff. Like I work out to it. He's a definite motivator.
Yeah, I got some Eric Thomas stuff on mine too. Actually.
Oh, dude, he's great. I love him too.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So. All right, man. Let's go ahead and dig down into the conversation now. So you're in Oklahoma. What part?
Northeast Oklahoma. I'm from Fairland, Oklahoma.
Okay.
I'm like 10 minutes from like Missouri and Arkansas and Kansas. I'm like right in between.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. So I was actually in Missouri before I moved to Arizona. So it's Oklahoma, Missouri, then out west. So and you've been in Oklahoma your whole life?
Yeah, I have.
Yep. So I guess my next question for this is like, you haven't been in a wheelchair your whole life?
No.
What was that? Yeah, obviously, if you don't want to get into the super duper details, you don't have to, but what was that process for that happening?
It's actually caused by a drink and driving accident. Driving way too fast down a dirt road kind of gets you.
Yeah.
But I say it was at May 29th, 2010. I had my car accident, and I broke my T10, 11, and 12 vertebrae, and which caused my spinal cord to fold over. Like if you take a straw and you fold it over,
right?
That's basically what happened to my spinal cord. So I didn't tear it. I just cut off circulation for 6 hours. I laid in my truck for 6 hours before anybody found me.
Really?
Yeah, I am really happy I don't remember any of that 6 hours.
Right.
Because that would have been terrifying.
Yeah.
But I had my wreck at 22. So that was a huge life adjustment. Like that had to happen like right then.
Right.
So kind of had to come to terms with everything real quick.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like obviously that is the crazy case of like a cause of an effect, right? Almost like your life has just changed.
Dramatically and extremely fast.
Yeah. So what was the adjustment like for you?
The first, I've been in chair almost 12 years. The first 6 is rough. I'm not gonna lie. I drank every day. I sit there. I'm not on any pain meds or never taken those or any like antidepressants or anything. It's just like I drank and I dealt with it. I mean, but I've always had a positive outlook on it because you got to laugh at the situation. Otherwise, if you're sad about it, it'll kill you.
Right.
I've never been a poor me type of person.
Okay.
Because I was just like, that don't get you anywhere in life. I don't feel like. But let's see. No, it was definitely a big adjustment trying to think back. But let's see. Something snapped in me one day and I quit drinking.
Okay.
And I kind of got to the point where I'm at now.
Right. It's interesting you say that because I had another guy on. He had an addiction to drinking and he did the same thing. He ended up in a hospital because he had drank himself so bad. And he was just like, I'm done. Mm-hmm. There wasn't no 12 steps. There wasn't no, like, he was like, I'm just done. You're the second person that said that where you're just like, yeah, I'm done. I find that interesting.
It's something like that to get over, say, like an addiction. I mean, I know every addiction is something different. Everybody handles it. But some people, man, it takes like something just to click in your mind, something big to happen, like you lose something that you hold dear to you. And it's just something that will click like, all right, hey, I need to change my life. Otherwise, I'm not going to go anywhere. Right. I'll keep heading down this bad path and won't get to where I want to be. I can have all these hopes and dreams and never achieve any of them. Yeah. But
yeah, no, that's super dope. So my next question, prior to the accident, were you working out? Were you lifting? Were you doing those things?
I was extremely active. I played on a paintball team. I mean, so I was constantly running. I was fit. Mm-hmm. I mean, I worked out every once in a while, but nothing great like what I do now. But really, I was pretty active. I was always on the go, moving, going, lifting, move. I was at my dad owns a dock construction company, boat docks. Okay. So I was lifting metal and everything all the time, working. But
blue collar strength.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you obviously the car wreck happens, life changes. You're dealing with that. You said you were drinking while that happened, and then you stopped. Where did bodybuilding come into play? When did that start to become? Was that like an outlet for you? Was it a hobby? Like, how does that come into play?
Well, actually, I reached out to my gym here. It's like a hole in the wall, like old dungeon style, like concrete building. It's cold in there in the winter. It's hot in there in the summer. We got to go outdoor and we're great, you know. But I reached out to him because I started watching YouTube videos, guys in wheelchairs powerlifting. So I was like Paralympics. I was like really looking into that, trying to think Paralympics. Like those guys are benching like 450 pounds, like for reps. And I'm like, he ain't got no legs. Cool, me either. Right. You know? But the bench press and everything is the only thing I could do. But the bar started turning at my shoulders and hurting, and I'm definitely afraid to push my butt around in a circle. Right. So I try to find a way out of it. And the gym owner, she was doing into bodybuilding and everything, and she introduced me to her trainer, and his name's Marvin Frost. And I started talking with him, saying, "Hey, you know, what about you can help me out? Trying to work out. I'm trying to do, you know, be better." And then he's like, "Well, he would think about it." Well, then I started watching more YouTube videos, trying to get a better workout and save my shoulders. But I found Nick Scott. He is a pro wheelchair bodybuilder, and he's the chairman of wheelchair bodybuilding. It's like he's over all of it.
Like, oh yeah, got you.
But so I watched him, and I was like, I can do that. You know, that looks like way more fun. It'll be a lot prettier. Right. Spray tan and all.
Yeah, right.
But so then I finally talked to my gym owner's coach again, trainer again, and I was like, hey, I really want to do this. Let's see what we can make happen. And he took a chance on me, and that was 5 years ago. Okay. So what was it? He had watched me, and I told him I was going to do a show in Texas in December 2016. Okay. Called the Battle of Texas.
Yeah, I know Battle of Texas. Yeah.
And dude, that's a big show.
It is.
And it's my first show, and I had no clue what I was doing at all. But I get in the crowd. I had to be the first one to start the show. Mm-hmm. So that was nerve-wracking for me, not knowing what I was doing. Right. You know, they tell you to do like the quarter turn to the right. And the judge tells me quarter turn to the right, and I look at him and go, "Am I right or you're right?" Like I stop in the middle because I turn both ways. He goes, "You're right." I'm like, "Okay."
Thank you.
But sat there. I was the only one in the wheelchair in that in the class. So, you know, I won that, you know.
Right.
But it was just more of a small victory in myself just to get up there. Cause man, there was over 3,000 people in that crowd. And
yeah.
I've never been in front of that type of crowd.
Right.
So that was nerve wracking, but you know, that takes a lot of guts to get up there. And, you know, given my situation and everything, like, you know, putting me out on the spot, I'm in a chair and they're looking at you, but to be up there with a shirt off and to be judged, it's a whole different level. I mean, but then you kind of look past it and just stare at the judge and smile. Right.
Right.
But, so after I did my show in Texas, the trainer, he's like, all right, you put your mind to it, let's give it a shot. And at the time I was dealing with a pressure sore from the chair, and the pressure sore was from my other one of my old chairs that I had, and the axle of it was bent. And since I can't feel down there, I don't know if it's putting certain pressure in certain areas.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you know, the pressure sore is like if you push on top of your hand and it turns white,
right?
And you know to move it. Well, I don't know to move it, so it's just slowly that sore like festers up underneath and just breaks open from the inside out. Man, I dealt with one of those probably for 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And sit there, I'd go be prepping for a show. I've been trying to do this NPC show that I just did for 3 years.
Wow.
I've been trying to get to it, but I would get like 3 weeks out, my immune system would just tank and I would be in the hospital for like 3 or 4 weeks, high-powered antibiotics. And the last time before this, I was 2 weeks out and I was like really excited, sit there planning the trip and everything, getting ready to buy plane tickets to go down. And my infection came up again that I didn't know I had. And like, it almost killed me.
Yeah.
My mom had to come and see, like she come see me in the hospital. She had to wear a yellow jumpsuit because I was that contagious. And I was
really?
like, yeah.
Wow.
I would tell you the name of the infection, but it's like, you know, 20 letters. And I can't pronounce any of it. But I finally got what they would call muscle flap surgeries, what they go in and like cut the muscles, stitch it up together and fold everything up and protect it pretty much.
Right.
And so we waited another year, me and the trainer, another year to see how well my health would be and everything before I'd actually go through a prep diet. And we waited, that full year. Then I was like, all right, let's get it. And I started a 16-week diet. So I've had a diet through Thanksgiving and, you know, Christmas and all the good food holidays, you know.
Yeah.
And then that was rough.
Yeah, I could imagine. Thanksgiving would be my cry. Christmas, but Thanksgiving, I'd cry, bro. I would cry.
I was sitting there eating my chicken and rice, and everybody's eating their turkey and all the other good shit.
Yeah, nope, can't do it.
No, but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah, for sure.
But finally, I was able to make it through a whole prep and won my show. So, I mean, put my mind to it. I did it.
Yeah, it's interesting too because like it you can see the, I guess, your strength in you, like in the you know, mental fortitude, because that's tough, right? Like you said, to get 3 or 4 weeks out from a show and that happened, and then do it again, and that happened, and like you're still wanting that show. It shows a lot of drive. It shows a lot of mental fortitude, and that's inspiring for anybody to hear, but especially me. Like, it's when you think about our problems in the world and the stuff that we complain about. I use people. I don't use, when I say people, like, I'm not using people like you as an example, but one of the things I've been talking about lately is like being a grateful athlete, right? And how you express that in your actions, not just I'm grateful, but like how you work, how you do things. And I would tell people, like, do you realize there's some people that will like trade places to me to be able to walk in the gym and work out?
Oh yeah.
And I'm like crying about how I have to go to the gym and do my cardio. And I'm like, when you think about that, it really makes you just shut up and be grateful for what you have in front of you and just go do the work.
Right.
So, like, your stories are those stories that I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This guy is way tougher, way better than I am and any other person, because he's going through all these things and still got his pro card.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The last like few weeks, I was just like, I wanted to call it, like, I'm done. I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. It was rough because I know the last 2 times I had to go through that prep, I was like, it hit. I got sick and I called it, and I'm like, I don't know if I should do this. And I was like, but after all of that, and the trainer talked to me again, it's like, we can do it. We'll get you to the show. You just got to do the show.
Right.
And then we can go from there.
Right.
But I told him, it's like, I only want to do the show one time. And now I only have to do it one time.
Yeah, you're good now. You're good now. So how did that feel, man, once you were able to get on stage and accomplish that goal and become a pro? What did that feel like for you?
Man, it's honestly a hard feeling to explain. It's like one of them big life goals that you put out there and you're able to accomplish it. It's a sign of relief. Like, you don't stress out about it anymore. You are grateful for everything that you went through.
Right.
Every meal that I ate, every workout that I did, every workout that I thought was terrible, it was great. Things that I had to miss out on made it all worth it. Because, like, being promoted to a different level is like, it's a whole new feeling. Right. You're in a whole new world that you thought you knew about, but had no clue how to take it.
Right.
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I was grateful for it. I will say I was probably the most animated one there at the show. They announced me that they called my number out that I won, and I'm the only one. I threw up my hands. I was ecstatic about it. It was really hard not to cry. It's just one of them great feelings. It's really hard to explain that.
Yeah.
But
I think in it being hard to explain, it explains it though, right? Like
it really kind of does. Yeah.
You can feel the passion behind it, what you're saying. So even when it's hard to explain, like, we still could get it. And for the people that watch, they'll be able to see it as well. So you get the pro card, like you said. Like, was there anybody, that was helpful besides your coach in getting you there?
Nick Scott, the guy that's over wheelchair bodybuilding. The past 2 years, I've been kind of like his understudy.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten real close with him. And what was it? Right before COVID hit, he invited me out to the Arnold Classic to help him, like, do background stuff. Like, I took pictures and record video, taped everything for him. So I'm the background of it. So then he promoted me to the, I run the wheelchair bodybuilding Instagram page.
Okay.
And I run the wheelchair bodybuilding Facebook page.
That's dope.
So, like, if people message that, they're talking to me.
That's dope, though.
So like, I see all of that stuff. But and then this past year, I didn't do the Arnold this year, but last October I was at Olympia.
Oh wow!
So I was backstage at Olympia. Like, I ate a bowl of ice cream with Nick Walker.
That's awesome.
Right? This is awesome. Like, yeah. I've being with Nick and helping him and being part of his world. Mm-hmm. I've met so many people and I've had so many doors opened up to me that I never thought I knew I would have.
Right.
Like the promoters of Olympia and the promoters of the Arnold and everything like that. They've asked me, "Hey, you going to be here?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm prepping. I'm going to do the show this week." And
yeah,
it's kind of an awesome feeling. I've met some really powerful people in the bodybuilding world, and I never thought I'd ever meet people like that, or those people in general.
So would you say, and if I'm wrong in asking this, you can stop me. What happened to you? If that doesn't happen, does this world happen?
I wouldn't be where I was at if I didn't have that chair. A lot of people, when they have an accident like I have, 80% of the people that I have met in a wheelchair, I'm not saying it's bad, but a lot of them are, hey, they got that, hey, I'm in a wheelchair, feel sorry for me kind of attitude. And I am far from that.
Right.
I'm grateful for the chair.
Mm-hmm.
There's a saying I like to say that don't be a half empty or a half full type of person. Be a person that just be happy you have a glass.
Right.
I'm happy I have a glass, man.
Right.
This chair is taking me places that I never thought I'd be.
Right.
And plus I got to think about it. I got a chair everywhere I go. So
right.
I got to
Facts.
Right.
Facts. Yeah. That, man, I'm honestly, bro, like, hearing this makes me think more, right? Like,
mm-hmm.
because that, like I said, it's amazing to me some of the things that happen to us in like our lives that we might have hated or not been, but they actually shape who we are. Sometimes that could be positive.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes that could be extremely negative, and people can recover. And you had that opportunity, right? Like this could have been really negative for you. You could have turned whatever. And for you to be able to not just turn it into a success thing as far as getting your car, but to be able to see the things you do. Now we're doing a podcast and people are going to be able to hear it. And it's not like my following is huge, but the 2 or 3 people that this impacts and changes like it's doing for me, hearing this is like super important. And it's just like you said, it's not there without the chair. I think that might be the title of this. It's not there without the chair.
I like that.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Cause that's cool. So I guess talk a little bit about the workouts themselves, because I've never gotten to see that. So like, what is that process and approach?
Oh man. My workouts, some people probably watching like, what the hell are they doing? Like today I work out 3 days a week. Honestly, I work out maybe a total of 3 hours a week. Now I don't do any cardio. I eat. We just all that by food and water. Right. That's a lot easier than trying to roll around the block a few times. Yeah. But my workouts, we base a lot of our workouts off of Dorian Yates's workouts and everything. Go heavy until you can't no more type thing, and less is more. Yeah. I mean, my back day, I do a few rows and a couple of lat pull downs and smoke overhand cable rows. And I do some crunches, and that's about it. Yeah. But like chest day, like anybody else, I get strapped to a bench so I don't fall off of it. Right. And then with everything's inclined in dumbbells. Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot safer on me, and that's what I do personal training. So it's like that's what we do with all of our clients and everything. Okay. But dumbbells are a lot safer. Yeah. You got more range of motion and everything with it. And you get a better turnout. Yeah. But chest days about anybody else. I get strapped to an incline bench and there we go. I'm there until we're done. Right. Type thing. He takes my chair away and he's like, "You're stuck." Right. Yeah. I'll fall off, whatever. Yeah. But like in my shoulder day, it's pretty much the same thing. We set the bench, the adjustable bench up, and I plop my butt on there and just go to work. But the weight that I move, I impress myself. It's I'm pressing like the 125s, and
that's crazy. I know.
I come weighing in at the show at what was it 139.4.
It can press 125.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's fun. No?
Yeah. In a good way. I'm saying that's crazy. Right? Like that's super impressive. Like, I know grown men that can't do that, and they walk and do everything else. Oh they can't. That is a struggle. That's crazy for real.
It's fun. I mean, it's fun to watch. Like the people just kind of like, we got a group. There's a group of NEO students, the college up here. Okay. That they come in and like half of them will just jaw drop and like, oh crap, I'm like it's fun. So I have a good time with it.
So you said you do personal training.
Yeah.
Was that hard to get into?
It was hard for me to figure out.
Okay.
Because like once my trainer kind of took over, he started teaching me, everything I've learned is from him.
Right.
And I've just, passing it on pretty much. But it took a good 2 years for me to finally get a system down and how I can spot people and all of that. Right. And figuring out diets and all that. The diet part was for some reason, it was a lot easier than trying to figure out how I can spot somebody doing a press. Right. But it is a challenge and I enjoy it. I like helping people out, man. Yeah. But no, being able to figure that out was great in itself.
Right. But, so did you feel like as far as clientele, like were they a little bit more reluctant due to your situation? Like, and did you have to battle through that? And I say there was your situation. I apologize if that sounds too
no.
I don't know how to word it. Okay, no. I don't know how to word it, but you know what I mean. Like, due to you being in a wheelchair, like, do they find that to be harder, or like was it?
There was a few that I had to kind of like say, "Hey, I got you." Just because I'm sitting down doesn't mean that I can't push you through any of this because I've got it all figured out.
Right.
You know, I was like, give me 4 weeks, you know, and they're still with me. I got about 10 clients that I've had. Oh shoot, 3 years now.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I got a couple that I'm prepping for a show in August. So yeah.
Oh, really? Like that?
Oh yeah.
Like wheelchair or regular?
No, they're able body. You know, I'm the only one around here in a wheelchair that wants to work out.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's freaking dope though that you're training people. But that's something that like I wonder. I know because obviously you're in like a eastern part, like northeastern part of Oklahoma, but I wonder how many people need to see you, right? That you can like inspire them to get up off their butts or out their chair and start doing this. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, there's people in Oklahoma that don't, you know, need to be aware of what you're doing and it'll be helpful.
I'm definitely a motivator.
Yeah.
I'll get you up and moving. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on the go all the time and I'll drag you with me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But I know eventually I'll end up doing like the motivational speaking and all that. I've been since Nick Scott, he does the motivational speaking. He goes and talks to high school and stuff.
Yeah.
And more I've told him about my story and everything. He's like, hey, you'll do great at this.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, you got the personality to do it. And so
you're doing great right now. Like I'm
trying.
Yeah, you're doing great.
I'm trying.
If you want me to tell you, yeah, you're doing great right now. This is easy. It's not hard. You got good stuff. Like, no, I see it personally. I don't even know you. So
awesome. But no, as long as I can motivate somebody or help them in any way I can, at least one person a day, I know I'm doing my job.
Right.
You know, it's not necessarily a job, it's a passion.
Yep.
You know, I enjoy it thoroughly. You know, love helping people.
Yeah.
It's my thing. And, you know, I believe me being, you know, God's will, I was put in a chair for a reason.
Right.
And hey, if this is my reason, I am more than happy with it.
Right.
And whatever doors are open for me, I'm rolling right through them. You know?
Right.
I'll bust in like the Kool-Aid man, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So with dieting, is it different for you? Just lesser, like, or different options? Like, how does that work?
Really the dieting part for me is, you know, the digestion part, you know, the whole bathroom issue and stuff like that. Cause that's extra issues. It's like, it's not fun for me.
Right.
But I eat like everyone else. I mean, but we may cut back like on the carb situation a little bit, just kind of see how it works. But
right.
You know, everybody's body works the same. It's just trying to figure out the right amount,
right,
per se. But no, we figured mine out and it's done great. I mean, it got to me where I'm at now. But it's also taken me, you know, a few years to figure that out.
Right. Then that's what I was wondering, really, was like the digestion part. Like, is that different now? Like, obviously.
Oh yeah, it's like you know, some of that stuff will clog you up and everything. It's not a good time.
Yeah.
But no, this year it's taken, like, I take some like extra supplements, like some hemp fiber and stuff like that. Dude, that stuff works perfect. And it's hey, was it a vegetable protein? But it's kind of like your body doesn't really take it in, and it's not, it doesn't help me physically, but it helps everything else move.
Yeah. Which is that's helping you physically, technically.
Oh yeah, that's true. But no, it's just little things we've had to find out throughout the way, and it's just like my trainer, he's like, I've never worked with anybody in a wheelchair, and I was like, well, we're all going to figure this out on my own because I have no idea what I'm doing. You know,
right?
But we've figured it out, and he's super intelligent with all this stuff, and he competed back early 2000s.
Okay,
I mean, he was a big dude back then.
Yeah. So. No, that's awesome. So what was the show like? Like, obviously you did your first one, but you go and get your pro card. What was that like backstage? Like getting on stage? Was there nerves?
Oh man, nerves were great. Like my first show, I had to be the first one.
Right.
Well, this show, I had to be the first one. So I was like, oh, it's just a replay. You know, that's fun because it wasn't just a wheelchair show.
Right.
It was the Sunshine CJ Classic. It was a national qualifier.
Right.
For able-bodied people.
Right.
So I mean, the crowd was pretty good size and everything, but you know, I had to be the wheelchair class started the show.
Right.
I had to set the tone, you know, type thing.
Yeah.
So, dude, my nerves were going crazy up until I had to get on stage 6 different times. Yeah, that was a lot. So by the end of the first round, the prejudging part, I was worn out.
Yeah.
And then come back to the showtime, the evening show and everything, the fun part of it. But I only had to get up there 3 other times, but
so did you know after prejudging that you had it? Or were you still kind of like, I don't know yet?
What was it? Nick Scott and Doc Wheeler that are part of the wheelchair division. They sat there and they were messing with me the whole time. They were sitting there like, we don't know, man. Like it's kind of close. So so my nerves were going, my mind's going 90 to nothing for like the next 5 hours. And it kind of sucked. But they sat there and after the show and everything, they were talking to me. It was like, we knew, right? We knew at registration who was going to do it, because they're pretty quick on picking up on who's going to get it that card this year. But the cool thing about the Wheelchair National is they give out 2 pro cards, and they have an incomplete class, which is like my break in my spinal cord, which is I didn't sever it or anything, so I got some motor function back. But then there's a complete, in which a complete is like they severed it or tore it up a little bit, and they have absolutely no function at all. So it's it's something new. So the past 2 years, they've given out 2 different pro cards, because of it. So that was pretty neat. And Tim, the other guy that won, he competed at that show for 7 years before he got his card.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. That is a lot. And to not get it and to keep going, good Lord. That's
and there was some years I pay attention to that stuff a lot. There's some years I'm like, oh dude, you should have had that, type thing. But
right. So do you have any future plans of doing it again?
Oh dude, I'm prepping right now. I got 48 weeks till the Arnold Classic. I was invited to I'm invited to Arnold Classic next year in Columbus.
Major congrats, man. Major congrats.
I appreciate that, man. But maybe it's in the talks. May get invited to Olympia this year, but that's kind of up in the air. I'm not on their level yet.
Right.
But feel wise or looks wise, I feel like, but we're all our own worst critics.
Yeah.
But
so do you still and sorry, because do you still bulk and shred? How does that work for you? Can you put size on, or you kind of it's just refining everything?
It's no, we can put size on. I know whenever I first started, when I first started, I was 220 pounds.
Okay.
I was super round.
Right.
But I got down to 123. My first show. Yeah, I got it took me a minute to get there, but it's something quick. But then I've built back up to last summer I was 160. So after Olympia, I started dieting down, and I dialed down to 139.
Gotcha.
So, but no, I can put on muscle in good size. Just I got to eat a lot.
Right.
The only thing. So it's put a good bulk on you. I mean, you got to eat some clean food and a lot of it.
Right.
I mean, that's honestly the hardest part. The workout is easy.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. I love working out. Who doesn't love working out?
Right. But it's eating 6 times a day. That's a lot.
Yeah. Especially when it's McDonald's and stuff, man. I like to eat real. I'm about to say I like to eat real food, but just mention McDonald's, which makes no sense. But
I can tear up some nuggets, man.
Yeah, same here. And I'm like, that's what I tell people. I'm like, it's not the working out, even the cardio for me isn't hard. That's my peace time, right? I put my headphones on and do it. I'm like, where I get stuck is having to eat these meals, and it's just chicken and rice or tilapia and asparagus. I'm like, I want pizza.
Right. I mean, I'd love me some pizza.
Yeah.
I did eat a medium pizza after the show.
I was gonna ask, what did you have after
it? Ordered Domino's, man. But I wanted to go out, but I was so worn out. I sat on the bed and just freaking ate a whole pizza and just passed smooth out.
Yeah. I remember. So the first couple shows I did, I wasn't in a relationship at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was literally I'm going back to my hotel room, and I just ate myself to sleep. Right.
And
then once you have in a relationship, then she wants to go out to eat and celebrate. So I did that, but I'm like you. I'm sitting there and I'm enjoyed it, but really the back of my mind was I'm so tired. I just want to go sleep.
It was
Be
rough.
chill.
Like, all I know was that we cut my water like 3 days in. Like I go from drinking a gallon of water, right? And then my trainer calls me because he wasn't able to go down there with me. So it's me and my girlfriend. We're driving down there, and he goes, "All right, I need you to cut it down to half a gallon." I'm like, "Why?" It's like, that's my thing. Drink more water. And he's like, "You'll be fine. Just cut it down." So the first day wasn't bad.
Right.
Second day, I drank my half gallon like way too fast because I just didn't think about it. And I'm like, "Oh, this sucks." And like, so half the day, I was like, "I need some water." And then he's like, "Show day, just get one, like, the little bitty water bottles."
Yeah.
He's like, "Sip on one of those." Dude, that was rough. I drank that so fast. I felt like I was dying.
Yeah.
But so I didn't get hardly anything until after the show. So that I was worn out and drained. Yeah, I'm still like trying to get back on the gallon thing, and that's rough now.
Yeah. And this wasn't too long ago either, right? We're talking a couple weeks, a week.
The 12th.
The 12th. So
what was that?
11 days?
2 weeks?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So are you still on the high a little bit, or?
Oh yeah, it's finally all settling in. I filled out my application for the pro card. They're mailing it to me, so I'm like, I feel like it's gonna really hit whenever I get that in the mail.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be sweet. Probably gonna frame it or something. Walk around like a badge.
Yeah. No, I would definitely frame mine. Like, I don't have one. I plan on getting one. Right. Yeah. I can't imagine what I feel, but like, yeah, that's dope. And then on top of that, you even having the goal of like, 48 weeks, hitting that Arnold next year. Like, that's going to be dope to see. Like, I'm excited now that I've friended you on Facebook and stuff and I can follow this, because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Definitely got to follow it. It's going to be a good time. We're actually, me and filmmaker, we're actually making a documentary on me.
Dude, that's dope.
So like, he's followed me from the start of the diet up until like, yesterday.
Yeah.
Type things. Just, we're getting everything. So far we have like 200 hours of film time, and we're going to cut that down to like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Like an hour and a half. Like, we're going to miss all the good stuff, but no, we're going to basically
let me know, bro. Like, I'll share,
for sure.
I will post, I will watch, I will do it all. I'll buy, and I'm buying. Number one, I'll buy, unless you put it on YouTube, and then obviously it's free. But I'll buy. But yeah, that sounds amazing. Like, I hope
we're calling it Above and Beyond.
Yeah.
So it's like we got the cover poster already made up, so I'll tag you in the picture.
Yeah, man. Yeah, tag me in it. That's dope.
The cool thing about that poster is it's that we're at the site where I had my wreck.
Oh.
Like literally right where they found my truck.
Right.
I am sitting in right in that same spot.
Wow.
So it's
what
a deeper meaning for me.
What did that do for you?
They're the first couple years that I had after my accident, I would go out there, that spot, every year, the night of my wreck, at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would sit there and I would drink. It's kind of like a dwelling moment.
Yeah.
But then ever since I've quit drinking, I haven't been out there because I don't want to know what that feeling is being sober pretty much, because it hits a lot harder.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I've been out there in 5-6 years.
Wow.
And it's kind of a surreal moment because it's quiet. There ain't nobody driving down that road, type thing. And it's just like, it's real quiet. It's peaceful, but it's it hits home.
Right.
It hits you harder. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
Kind of a surreal moment.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like everything you've been through started right here.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like, my previous situation, I was just sitting in my car the other day, because last year I had thoughts about taking my life, right? Based on some things that happened. And so to sit in a car and just be like, look where you're at now. It's surreal. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I teared up. I'm sitting in my car and I'm like tearing up. I'm like, to think last year I was questioning whether or not I even have value on this earth, to now where I'm like able to do things and impact and talk to people and stuff. I'm just like, this is crazy, bro.
Isn't it great though?
Yeah,
it's a great feeling.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, like, what was it? I'm part of a car club. I have a Dodge. I drive a Dodge Challenger.
Okay.
It's really funny for me to park in a handicap spot at Walmart.
Yeah.
And like, I don't get out of the car yet. And I open up the door and like, there's people like just glaring at me that I
Yeah.
took the chair out. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, but no, it's like, it's pretty cool. Like I'll go to car shows and everything. And I'm part of a car club, and we'll go to car shows, and like just the impact that I talk to people,
Yeah.
like just that, you know, motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, and kind of show them, hey, you know, I'm just sitting down. I don't let nothing stop me. So what's stopping you?
Right.
You know, type of thing. Find your happiness and keep going.
Yeah.
You know, let that push you further.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, I don't want to hold you up too much longer, man. I got a lot of gems out of this. I think a lot of people get some gems out of this. I actually want to I want to have you on again, to be honest.
Oh, definitely have me on anytime, man. You just let me know. I'm game.
Yeah. That was really cool to hear and inspiring at the same time. I can't wait to get this one out. But anything else you want to say before we close out?
Find your happiness. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the naysayers, not the haters, because you know they're motivators. But no, do what makes you happy. Put your head down, work. You can achieve anything you can want as long as you put your mind to it. Because heck, if I'm doing it in a chair, you can do it up walking.
Facts.
You know, a lot easier.
Facts. So for all those people watching, you got to see two beautiful faces.
I try to be pretty.
And all those people listening, two beautiful voices. I thank you for your time. I will have all of his information as far as Instagram, Facebook, anything you guys want to need to be able to contact him. Please go please go follow all of his content, all of his pages. Hopefully we'll be able to get him on again, but also
definitely
when that documentary drops, we'll be able to share that as well. And I appreciate all those that are listening and watching. Hope you have a great day.
Thanks.